Hello, welcome to another Lucky Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, another Lucky Tales. Over the years, over the past many years, if not over 2 decades, I have purchased a lot of collections. Some as small as 200 books to as big as a few thousands. I don't know the exact count, so I don't want to throw out a number that could be wrong, but I know it was over 2,000. And to many people's surprise, the largest collection that I purchased was my very first one. Yeah, maybe naivete played a big part in me willing to buy the collection. If I knew now how much work it goes in to buy that collection, maybe I would have second thoughts in even make an offer, okay? But I went through it and I survived it. Back in the early days of the internet, okay? For those that can remember, put in the comment section below what year, when was it that you discover that you can buy comic books through Craigslist? Let me know, okay? I'm curious to see when it was that other people found Craigslist to be a good source of buying. Not today, not anymore, okay? But when was it that you discovered? For me, when I found the internet, of course eBay, right? That's about the time that I start to search for other venue to buy comic books. So 1998, 1999 was the beginning of me using the internet as a tool to buy comic books online, okay? So, but I didn't go to Craigslist right away. It took me a few years after to discover Craigslist. But I stumbled across an ads on Craigslist. And for whatever reason, don't ask me why, back in those days, I decided to search Craigslist more than my local area. For whatever reason, I went beyond the scope of Massachusetts. Okay, I just say, why not? So I just happened to put in upstate New York because I'm familiar with upstate New York. I went to college in upstate New York, so why not include New York? It's only a few hour drives away, right? I did that, and I saw an ad. The ad read something like 5,000 mint books, never read, never opened. Those typical kind of ads, but something like that. It was like 5,000 books, late 70s, Marvel and DC, never read, minty, blah blah blah. Not one picture, not one picture. So I contact that seller through Craigslist and said, is there any way that you can take some pictures? One or two, something. I mean, you can't possibly expect someone to give the asking price. The asking price for those books was $20,000. Yeah, that was an asking price, and I remember emailing the person and said, well, you can't expect anyone to pay that kind of money without seeing anything. You had to give me some pictures, right? So can you give me 8 pictures? And then we exchanged information. I gave my email address, and I think the next day, not right away, the next day I got one picture. It was a picture of a dining room table. Okay, so you get like a far view of the dining room table. And on the dining room table is stacks and stacks of raw comic books, no bags, no board. They're just stacks of Bronze Age X-Men. I see, like X-Men 109, 110, 111. I see all of those books there. I'm like, really? And right then, as crazy as it sounds, beginner's luck, first timer luck. I said, let's make a deal. One picture, I would like to have seen more, but one picture may be enough. If you want to send me more pictures of some close-up look of those books, that would be nice. But here is my offer, and tell me what other titles you have. So I saw. To make the long story short, I bought roughly $10,000 worth of books. Okay, I worked out a deal where the average cost per book that I bought from him was somewhere between $2.50 and $3. The number is kind of vague because what happened was, okay, so I made it. It took a couple of weeks for this deal to go through because he had to go through, take a look at all the books, how many copies of each, and then we negotiate a price. Plus there was no bags on board. So part of what I was willing to do, I told him, I bought thousands of bags and board, thousands of them, and shipped them directly to him. And I told him, please bags and board each book before you ship them to me. I will pay for the shipping costs. I will pay for the bags and board, but you have to bags and board them. Agree? He agreed. So eventually, a few weeks later, every day he would go to the UPS office and drop off a few boxes. And I received boxes and boxes and boxes. And I bought thousands of books on the average, including shipping costs and everything, somewhere between $2.50 and $3 each, okay? And how he acquired the book is the better story. It turns out that when he was in college, he was not a collector. He's not a collector of any sort, but his roommate, his freshman year roommate in college, was a collector. And his roommate told him, hey, I love comic books. You collect baseball cards, okay? What if we plan ahead so that we can retire, say, in 20 years and open an awesome shop that have a huge backlog of comic books and baseball cards and all the other fun stuff. Good idea. He knew nothing about comic books, okay? But he and his roommate in college went to the LCS nearby where they go to college, where they went for college, and they worked out a deal with that shop where they told the shop owner, whatever's hot, order extra stuff for us. Whatever's new, order extra stuff for us and give us a cut, give us a good discount, okay? So if you think a title is hot and you order 20 copies for your store, order 10 for us, okay? Because his roommate reasoning was, hey, if we are to be a big store in 20 years, we need back stock now. And back in those days, the cover price was 35 cents, okay? Those are the 35 cents. And the first X-Men at 106 because there was a bunch of 107 that I was able to slap later and get 96. Okay, so 106 was the first X-Men. There was nothing before that. Can you imagine if they went to college a year earlier? What kind of collection would that be, right? And fast forward to current time, he's no longer wished to open a store. He's no longer friend with that person, his college roommate. So he sit there semi-retire, or actually he just got laid off from his company, and he's just like, I need cash, I have a bunch of comic books that I bought 20 years ago. Might as well sell them, right? And that's how I stumbled across his listing on Craigslist. And, you know, he paid, the cover price back then was 35 cents to 40 cents ish for those books. And he paid roughly 20 to 25 cents. So for him to make 10 times plus his money over the 20 years or so, he wasn't complaining. Okay, he didn't care what the current market value was. For him, he was aware of overstreet. We talk about that. He just like, he went on eBay and he looked at the prices and he's just like, I can't grade these things. I don't know how to grade these books. They never read, so they should be mint, but I don't care. So in the end, he was happy with the money that I was willing to pay him. So he has duplicates, 10 of each, sometimes 20 of each. Okay, so it was an insane collection. I bought just about everything Marvel. Okay, it was thousands of books. Even like Devil Dinosaurs, 10 copy of Devil Dinosaurs #1. I take it. And Hulk. Surprisingly, there was not there was some Hulk, but not like a huge run. But the reason why I sat down and did this video is that for those that see my CGC haul and see these two books, these two are the remaining last two Hulk book from that collection I bought. Okay, I had bought and sold the rest. Many of them in slab. I slabbed a lot of them, got a lot of 9/8. For whatever reason, I kept these two because of the printing defects. I wasn't sure what grade they're gonna be, even though they look 9/6, 9/8. But over the years, I forgot about them. Okay, and then recently, I found them again. I said, time to send them in. But there were so many high-grade bronze. I got the first 9/8 on census on many Marvel bronze books. Many obscure title, Godzilla, Howard the Duck, even say Black Panther. There was a few Black Panther that didn't have 9/8 yet, and I was the one that submitted the book and got 9/8 for some of the Kirby Black Panther in the late 70s. So it was an insane collection. It took me a long time to go through it. I think I probably slabbed about 900 of those books. Okay, just shy of 1,000, and all of them was slabbed between 2008 and 2009. Yeah, I mean, I cut my teeth with learning how to press and become very confident in my pressing skill back in those early years, because many of those 9/8 was from my pressing them. Because you gotta understand, all of them was never kept in bags and board. So they all have like a little band in the corner here and there. All of them did. But a freak of nature, how they survive, and freak of nature, how they were white page. After spending 20 years in storage. That's also teach me a lesson on how books age over the many decades. Okay, I learned a lot about how books can maintain their sharpness, the page quality without bags and board. There's other things that impact the condition, the quality of the books more so than bags and board. So I learned a lot of stuff, but no doubt that is one heck of a lucky first purchase for sure. And now that I'm near the end, I still have a bunch of duplicate stuff that I will probably give away because nobody wants them. Here's an example of something that I still have. In that collection, there was a bunch of John Carter Warlords of Mars And at the time, there was very few 9/8 of this title. Guess what? I got a bunch of 9/8s. There was a lot of 9/8s. In those early days on the CGC forum, I sold a lot of those slabs to people that was trying to get 9/8 sets. You have a Howard the Duck 32 in 9.8? I need that. Yeah. Fun time. I learned a lot. I certainly learned a lot, and ever since that collection, I told myself, don't bite, don't take too big of a bite of the apple, because I might choke on it. It works out in the end, but that's it. I can go on and on and on with the story, but I figure that's long enough for the video. But for sure, no doubt, that's one heck of a lucky tale. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.